Yo, what is up? Welcome back to the Burnell Washburn podcast. It's a magical day. I'm feeling blessed to be alive. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the podcast if you're new. This thing continues to grow fast because you guys are sharing it. I'm not paying for any advertising, but your word of mouth is really working. So, huge, massive mahalo. Infinite gratitude to the gratitude gang. Thank you so much for all the Patreon supporters, for everyone that's screenshotting it and sharing it on your story, for everyone. Like, my favorite thing that you guys are doing to help this podcast grow is when you send me a DM or a text or whatever and you're like, hey bro, I just listened to episode blah 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 of your podcast and I started meditating, or you tell me something specific that you've applied because of the podcast. That's like the best social proof and best marketing in the world, because I can screenshot that and put it on my story, and then other people start listening because if I just say, go listen to my podcast, no one gives a fuck. But if I post a screenshot of a text that you sent me saying, hey bro, today's my third day meditating because I listened to your podcast, or I love the episode on reprogramming the subconscious mind, I'm going to start blah, 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 like, things like that really help. I post those on my story, and that's how new listeners keep coming to it, because they're like, oh, okay, that's what he's talking about. Okay, I could use that. And they see other humans benefiting from it, and they're like, okay, I want to be a part of that too. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. It keeps affirming and confirming that I'm living out my soul's mission, doing what I'm meant to do on this planet, which is spread love, awaken consciousness, and help people not suffer so much. Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. Challenges are a part of life, but it doesn't mean we need to suffer through them, especially when other people have already overcame certain challenges. Like, I've done a lot of work on myself, and I still have, infinite amounts of work to do because it's an ever-expanding universe, but there's certain areas of my life that, I feel like I've gotten into a good place with, and my wisdom can help people that are still struggling with those things. And so that's, a big reason why I'm doing this podcast. Right now I'm sipping on a little Rasa adaptogenic coffee alternative beverage. I'm actually making a review of it on my YouTube channel, so I'll post that soon. Oh, Jesus. And I will be talking about some exciting new partners and sponsors here over the next few episodes too, so stay tuned for all sorts of goodness coming your way. Today's going to be a quicker episode because I'm about to mob out on a hike and get some nature vibes and just ground myself and meditate and take a little forest bath and get some fresh air and, walk around barefoot in the stream and get my vibes on point, because I have a beautiful, fun-filled, action-packed week. I've got a workshop and a performance this Friday at Reggae Rise Up Festival, which is the biggest reggae festival in the region by far. And I am hosting a workshop all on flow state, how to tap into a flow state, how to access a state of flow where everything's just kind of clicking for you and time speeds up and slows down all at once, and you seem to be just massively creative and massively productive and inspired, and you're just taking all the right actions, and it's just like everything's just working out for you. So I'm going to be giving a workshop on how to access flow state, because I've studied it a lot, and I've been kind of living my life in a flow state for the last couple of years. Obviously not like 24/7, but more than I ever had in the past. And so I've been, and I've also been learning about it, and I'll be giving a workshop on that. I'll be performing. I'll be doing hosting a little freestyle cypher. So that's going to be dope. My daughter starts kindergarten the day before that on Thursday. First, she's doing full day kindergarten, and it's making me so stoked for her. She's going to make new friends, and she's eager to learn, and I'm really excited for her to finally be around some kids her age, because I've been kind of selfish with her. Her mom and I have had her to ourselves, not really sharing her with the world as much, and so she's gonna get out and make more friends. But I'm like kind of sad, like, damn, like how's she already starting school? She's gonna go into the system and get all programmed now. But I mean, there's a lot of positive benefits going to school too, so I'm excited for her. And it's like, damn, the time is going fast. I got to make the most of it. I feel like she was just born. Now she's starting school. Next thing I know, she's going to be graduating high school and getting married and all that. And I'll be like, geez, so I got to make the most of my life, live it up every second, and really enjoy it and appreciate it. And even appreciate the struggles. Like, actually having a daughter helped me out big time, because I used to get like so worked up if my life wasn't going the way I wanted it to go. And which there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to get like a little, that's part of what like drives us to grow and evolve. First we have to have the contrast and experience the emotions and things that we don't want in order to know what we do want. But I remember like when she was first born, it's like you're so like, you get like tired of like making bottles and holding the bottles up, and then by the time you're tired of that, it's done. They don't use bottles anymore. Or if you're like breastfeeding or something, like if you're a woman that's breastfeeding, you're like you finally get used to that, and then nope, now they're eating regular food. And then you get used to like changing diapers, and then now they're potty trained, and then you get used to like certain behaviors, and it just, you see how fast things change, and it puts things into perspective for you. It's just like, okay, nothing's really permanent. Like, if I'm in a situation that I don't like, it's okay. It's not going to last forever. Everything is temporary. So you can just ebb and flow a little bit easier when you think you're like so stuck and everything's like permanent and such a big deal and you're taking it all serious. That's when you get really like stressed or depressed or worked up. And when you remember the impermanence of everything, you can be more moldable and flexible and have more fun with it. So I got that going on. And then this Saturday I've got my birthday show. It's kind of weird that I throw myself a birthday show every year. Like, I don't know if it's like narcissistic as fuck or if it's self-love. It's probably both. But I'm like, no one else is going to throw me a fucking party, so I'm going to throw myself a party because I love myself and I love being alive. And I love my birthday and I love my friends and I want to celebrate and I want to make some money. And like, I can usually make more money at my birthday shows than most of the time when like other people book me, because that's like a lot of my good homies and fans will like make sure to come out to that one. So if you're listening to this before August 24th and you're in Utah, or even if you're not, come vibe with us. August 24th, the Urban Lounge. The lineup is sick. We got my homegirl Megan from bringing the Healing Emporium experience. She'll be doing card readings all night and helping people kind of tap into that magical energy. So it's going to be, even though it's at a bar, it's going to be high vibration. I'm not drinking, so even if I know a lot of people are like, yeah, dude, I want to come, but I just don't drink anymore. And it's like, yo, I don't drink either, and I go to bars and festivals and shows all the time, and I'll be the life of the party, dancing, and have more energy than anyone that's drinking. So definitely don't think that, and I totally understand if you're having a problem with alcohol and you don't want to be around it at all. Totally understandable. Do what's right for you. But you can totally be around, at least I can totally be around all that stuff without getting tempted or anything like that. I can stay solidified in my high vibes. So come party with us if you're around this Saturday, August 24th. If you're listening to this episode way after the fact, no worries. Come out to one of my other shows. I got shows all the time, and they're always really dope. So if you've never met me in person, that's the best way to come do it, is show up at one of my shows. And I get a lot of people hitting me up on social media, always wanting to meet up for lunch, or they always want to meet up for coffee. And it's like, come to one of my shows first. Like, I don't have the time to just meet up with random people with no agenda all the time. And although I'd love to, I just have a lot of things I'm working on, a lot of priorities, a lot of commitments, and I'm like pretty introverted by nature. So I feel like I need like 3 hours alone for every hour that I spend being social. And that's totally fine. At least at this stage of my life, that's kind of where I'm at. I need a lot of meditation, a lot of rest, a lot of just inner work, a lot of learning, a lot of listening to podcasts and YouTube channels, a lot of doing online courses, and, a lot of inner work. So I'm trying to balance that out and stay social and get out there and do fun things with my people as much as possible. But I'm also listening to my intuition and doing what feels right to me. So, I'm kind of rambling at this point, and it's supposed to be a quicker episode. But yeah, come vibe out at one of the shows. And if you get any value by the end of this episode, if you feel like this is resonating with you, please send me a message or screenshot it, even if it's doesn't have to be like super profound, even if it's just like, hey bro, I loved the podcast episode today. Period. That helps me promote it. It makes me feel appreciated. I don't want to say validated because I'm not looking for external validation, but I guess there is a small piece of me that likes to be validated and likes, still working through those codes. So I just like those confirmations that I'm on path doing the thing, and like that I'm not just like talking to a microphone and putting it out there for no reason. Like people are actually resonating with it and taking action. So shout out to Evan Balance from Boro Syndicate, our newest member of the Gratitude Gang. Shout out to Claudio. Shout out to Malev. Shout out to Sal. Shout out to Teaser. Shout out to Alyssa. Shout out to everyone that's been supporting. There's been the homie Sean, the homie Brock. There's just a bunch of good people. Shout out to all my coaching clients, all my music fans, all my YouTube subscribers. I'm feeling blessed and I'm feeling supported, which is something that I had to shift within me. It's not like the world started supporting me and then I felt supported. I started feeling supported divinely, internally, and then more people started supporting me. It's like I literally just did this like guided meditation on like accessing support from the universe and like tapping into like feeling like it's okay to be supported. Like I don't have to. I was and I thought this was a good thing until now, but like I was raised to be super independent, and there's some pluses to that. But I thought like I was lesser if I needed anyone's help or support. If anyone has to help me out, then I'm not as worthy and I'm not as good and I'm not as deserving and awesome of a person. If anyone has to like assist me in any type of way, if they have to give me a ride or lend me some money or anything, then I'm like lesser. And it's like that's such a toxic mindset that I had to shift within me, that I'm still shifting within me. But I promise you, the more you feel supported, the more people will support you. So it's so easy as an artist to focus on the people that aren't supporting us. I spent like my whole career just only thinking about the people that weren't supporting me. I could literally have there's been times where I had a sold out show at like Kilby Court or something, which is a local venue in Salt Lake City. And like 300 people came to support me. And then I would go home and my mind would keep focusing on, well, how come my little brother didn't show up? How come my best homie wasn't there? And like I'd be so bummed, and I feel like all these strangers are supporting me, but like the people, like my close friends and family are not showing up for me. And I was like always so focused on that, and it was like heartbreaking. I would just feel heartbroken no matter what, and it was such a toxic way to live. And I thought that was just reality, but then I like started waking up and I was like, no, this is my consciousness. Everything is happening based on my perception. It's all happening in our minds. So like I'm just perceiving the universe that way, so that's how the universe has to show up according to my perception. It cannot show up for me any other way than how I perceive it. So it was just like one of those things I had to shift into to train myself to feel supported, I feel energetically supported right now as I'm recording this podcast. Before I even put it out, I don't know if anyone's going to reply to this or get any value from it or share it or, throw me money for it or anything like that. I just know on an energetic level I'm fulfilling my soul's mission and I'm taking the inspired action, and then I'm letting go and surrendering and trusting that like whoever's meant to hear this podcast will hear it. Whoever's meant to support me will support me, and I'll be supported divinely no matter what. The universe always has my back, and I will be protected and loved and appreciated and supported to the fullest ability that I allow myself to be. And that's the key word, is that I'm allowing myself to be supportive. It's not, it's not this outer thing. Everything in life is an internal game. So the more I feel supported, the more the universe supports me. And yeah, I'm very, very grateful right now for the support that I've been allowing myself to receive. I'm taking another little sip of my rasa. I'm getting off caffeine. I'm changing. I'm not forever. Like there's a lot of health benefits of coffee. I talk about, the the organic, fair trade, cold brew that I drink with nothing added to it. It has a lot of health benefits, polyphenols, antioxidants, and dumps your stored liver glycogen. And gets, there's a lot of benefits to coffee, but I'm just getting off caffeine for a while so I can reevaluate my relationship and not be dependent on it and not like need it every day. And then it's like a nice little thing I can have, when I want it. But Ross has this herbal adaptogenic beverage that's made with a bunch of different mushrooms and herbs and adaptogens, that something that I probably could be drinking every single day and not have like the side effects of adrenal fatigue and burnout and all that stuff. Anyway, this has kind of been like a ranting, rambling episode so far, and I haven't even gotten into my topic yet. So the main topic I wanted to talk about is very simple to understand and is a little more difficult to apply. Setting intention. Actually, I shouldn't even say it's easy to apply. Everything's only as easy or as hard as you make it out to be. The more we simplify things and the more we think things are going to be easy, the more they will be. The more we think something's going to be difficult, the harder it'll be. So I take that back. It's not difficult. It's easy to apply. Setting intentions. I think the reason I said that is because it's something that I want you to really start applying and not just like intellectually understand and think, oh yeah, for sure, I need to set more intentions, but like segment intention. I want to talk about segment intending in just a second. And then I want to talk about just setting more intentions in general. Like the more intentions we set for our life, the more life goes the way we want it to go. The more mindful we live, the more intentionally we live, everything gets better. Because most of our bad habits and falling off track is just like from a lack of intention. You live without intention for long enough, and then you don't realize, like 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road, you've been allowing all these toxic behaviors and bad habits and things to take root in your life, and you weren't even really consciously aware of them. They were just thinking you've been reactive and just living and just doing your life, and things start happening, and you're not really aware of all these bad habits that are forming, or because every single day we're like forming habits. It's like, are we forming good ones or bad ones? Probably both, but the more intentionally we live, the less bad habits we form, and the more we get on track with our like soul alignment and where we're really trying to go. So I urge you with all my heart to set more intentions. Every single time you consume liquid, before you drink it, what's your intention for putting this in your body? Bless the water, bless the liquid. Say, I love you. Thank you, great water spirit. Thank you for this beverage. I intend for this rasa that I'm sipping right now to go into my body, assimilate well, and give me all the nutrients and energy and vitality that I need to thrive in my mission today. I intend for this water to nourish all my cells. I intend for this to raise my vibration. I intend for this to make me feel more grateful, more healthy, more abundant. Like, I talk to every time I take a sip of anything, I talk to it like literally out loud. I will put my mouth down towards the glass of water and say, I love you, water spirit. Thank you. Thank you for joining me and becoming part of my body. Thank you for, we're all coexisting in this beautiful universe together, and it's like water is just as spiritual as I am, and it's just as spiritual as God is. Everything is spiritual. This microphone that I'm recording on, it's not just some inanimate man-made bullshit object. It's a spiritual thing. It's made out of particles and waves that are turned into matter through basically human emotion. Human emotion desired to have a way to broadcast ourselves and to record our vocals, and we first imagined this contraption, and we designed it, and all the energy in the universe to create this microphone already existed, and we just put the different pieces and different elements together to create this device. So everything is spiritual. Like, going to the bathroom is just as spiritual as meditating is, a butterfly or a rock is just as spiritual as Jesus Christ. This laptop that I'm recording on is a spiritual device. Like, every single moment is a spiritual experience. So when we start to realize that, we start to realize it's all just this one beautiful energy that we're all working with, and we stop seeing separation between like who we physically think we are. Like I'm Burnell, and you know, you're Sarah or whatever. It's like we're all just this one. We're all just the universe expressing itself in these magical ways. And it's a trip, and it's a wild world, and if we're not careful, and if we're just like mindlessly like living life, we're going to be reactive. We're not going to be living from our higher selves and operating as the best version of us. We're going to easily fall into the social programming, the paradigm, the negative mindsets of other people around us. So I urge you to set more intentions. Set more intentions when you eat. Don't just eat without setting intention. Maybe try that for the rest of this day or the rest of this week. Try not putting any food, any particle of food into your body without first blessing it and appreciating it and having an intention. Even if the intention is just like, my intention is to enjoy how good this tastes, because there's no nutritional value to it. I just love the taste of this. That's fine. That energy of joy and gratitude and all that stuff will assimilate in your body a lot better, even if you are eating something that's not as healthy. It'll end up, you'll digest it a lot better, and it'll flow through you a lot better if you're grateful for it and if you do it with intention. And if you do it with intention, you're less likely to overeat. Or I've never like intentionally sat there and like been binge eating. You know, maybe there's a couple times where I'm like, hey, today's a cheat day and I'm just going to go all in and have a bunch of food. But like 99% of the time when I used to, binge eat, it was because I was frustrated, stressed, lonely, bored, depressed, or sad, or whatever. And I just didn't, or I was avoiding something I didn't want to do. And I just found myself eating, and I wasn't really thinking. And then until like it was too late, and then I would feel like shit. Had I been more intentional about how I wanted to feel that day and how I wanted to feel the next day, I wouldn't have made those choices, So for me, I love having things in the future to look forward to that help keep me on point, like I got my birthday show this weekend. My intention is to feel really good. I want to be on my highest vibration that I've been in all year, and like it'll naturally will be easy for me because it's my actual birthday. Shout out to all the Virgos, all the Leos. I'm the Virgo Leo cusper. But like my intention is to feel really amazing this weekend. I want to be on the highest vibration possible. And since I set that intention, it's really easy for me to eat healthy all week. It's really easy for me to work out, but not like overwork myself to a point of burnout. It's easy for me to do the high vibrational things and not slip into like lower tendencies because I have this intention. So I have like master intentions about my day, about my week, about my month. And master intentions about just how I want to show up and who I want in the world and who I want to be in the world. Like I want to just be this ball of light and love. That's one of my master intentions, is I just want to radiate joy and radiate love. Like I want to be known as a force for good in the universe, where everyone that comes into contact with me feels a little bit better just because they encountered me. That's one of my master intentions that kind of dictates everything I do. That's why I spend every day, all day doing what I love, living out my soul's purpose. Yesterday I woke up and recorded 3 new songs. Today I woke up and did a podcast. Like every day I'm enjoying myself. I'm doing what I love, and I'm taking all these actions, and I find it just easier and easier to be productive and in a flow state and taking action on my goals and dreams because I have these sort of like master intentions that reign over my whole life. Another huge thing that's helped me out massively is sleep intention. I used to just pass out. Like a lot of times I'd pass out with all my clothes on. There'd be like some movie playing in the background, or I'd have my phone next to me or whatever, and like all these bad sleep habits. And if you're struggling to sleep, the number one thing you need to do is like not look at your screen for the hour or two before bed. And at the very least, get the blue light blocker glasses. I'm going to talk about like overcoming insomnia on one of the next episodes, and how you can, I'm going to do a whole entire episode about hacking your sleep and just taking sleep to the next level, because it's at least 1/3 of your life. So it should be at least 1/3 of your priorities. You know what I mean? Like Sleep should be a huge, it should be even more than that, because that 1/3 of your life controls the other 2/3. Like, the other 2/3 of your life are shit if you don't sleep. If you don't sleep well, the rest of your waking time is pretty much shot. So I'm gonna do a whole episode on improving your sleep, and I have a lot of I know different supplements and different tools and mental activities and things like that, and that you can use to hack your sleep. But the first thing I'll talk about in this episode is sleeping with intention. So I bless my bed before I get in it. I say thank you that I have a bed to sleep in. Thank you that I have blankets and sheets and pillows, and it's so nice. Tonight my intention is to sleep really well and wake up super refreshed. Like, that's almost always my intention is I want to wake up super refreshed tomorrow. And then if I have any type of injury or any type of soreness, I intend that will be healed by the time I wake up. So say my shoulders are sore from working out, I'll say tonight my intention is for my shoulders to rapidly heal and feel amazing when I wake up. And every time I do that, I wake up and my shoulders don't hurt anymore at all, or whatever the intentions almost always go how I want them to, and that's because of the power of the subconscious mind. When you set intentions, your subconscious mind does anything it possibly can to make that happen for you, as long as it's not running like a contradicting program. So that's why rewiring the subconscious mind is so important. So when you do set these intentions, you can actually have it working with you instead of against you. But set the intention of how you want to feel. A lot of the intentions that I set are not okay, my intention is to make $800 today. I'll set more of an emotional intention. My intention is to feel the energy of freedom today, or the energy of abundance today, because that's why I want the $800. So I bypass the means and go straight to the end, and I bypass the vehicle and go straight to the destination of okay, it doesn't matter how I get there, I just want to feel this emotion. So for my, I might set an intention for this next hour, I want to feel really peaceful. Or for my morning routine today, I want my intention is that my morning routine is going to be super high vibe, so I can get into a flow state and just crush these new songs that I wrote. When I go to record them, I'll just be on such a high vibration that I'll perform these songs to the best of my ability. So I usually set an intention, and then I talk about why I want to set that or hold that intention. I do it with sleep, I do it with food, I do it with beverages, I do it with, before I record this podcast, what's my intention for recording a podcast? I really wanted to, today my intention was I really wanted to speak from the heart and share some things that are going to uplift people's vibrations. I wanted you who's listening to this to feel better because you listened to this episode. And I didn't have it fully planned out of what I was going to talk about. My intention was I'm just going to talk about intention. And I know I'm going to ramble on some other things that's going to still be some helpful reminders and some good vibes for people to hear. And another big part of my intention was, hey, even if it's not the best episode, because I can tell when I'm just in the pocket. Last week I was just in the pocket. Today I'm not in the pocket as much. But if I keep going, I'll probably get there. I'm starting to get there. But to be honest, I kind of wasn't feeling it. I was kind of trying to make a podcast and I wasn't really feeling it. And I just kind of forced myself to do it. Because my intention was to stay consistent. I feel good about myself when I'm doing the things that I told myself I was going to do. That's how confidence is built. You keep your word. Confidence is built by keeping your word with yourself. You do what you tell yourself you're going to do, and then you start to trust yourself and love yourself more. Talked about this a lot. Your homie keeps saying he's going to pick you up at a certain time. He never shows up. You start losing confidence in him. You lose faith and trust in him. And then next time, after the 5th time of letting you down, he tells you he's going to do something for you, and you just don't even believe it. So, same thing with our mind. We tell ourselves we're going to do stuff, and then we don't do it. We start to hurt our self-esteem. We say, okay, today I'm going to work out, and then you don't work out. Boom, you just lost your self-esteem. You just, you didn't lose it for good, but it went down. You say, all right, this week I'm going to eat super healthy. And everyone knows that, which is why a lot of people don't set intentions, because they're scared to let themselves down. because they're scared, hey, if I set this intention and I don't act on it, I'm going to feel bad about myself. So it's easier to just not make any new commitments or any new higher standards for myself, because it's easier to just play small, stay where I'm comfortable, and then I don't have to face like failure or falling short and feeling bad about myself. But today my intention was, I'm going to record a podcast, and I want it to be a really good podcast, but even if it's not the best, I'll enjoy myself on this hike that I'm going on later, and I'll enjoy the rest of my day so much more because I at least tried. I recorded a new episode like I told myself I would, and I uploaded it, and I'm trying to spread love, and like when I make YouTube videos or podcasts or songs or performances, it's a divine union with the great spirit, with the great creator, with the universe, with God, whatever you want to call it. It's not just me. So I got to realize, like, the more connected I am to this great energy, the more it's going to flow through me, and the creative work will come out better. So my job is not to think that I'm a good creator or I'm doing this or that. It's like I'm a good channel that can connect, and the more I can connect, the better the stuff will be. And sometimes I connect deeper than others, and that's okay. I can't expect myself to make it's not like every single podcast is going to be doper than the last one. That's, hopefully that's awesome if they are, but I'm not going to hold myself to these standards of like, all right. And like when I say better or worse, that's completely subjective. Like my favorite episode could be your least favorite episode. Just like some of my favorite songs I've ever made have been like the least popular. And then some of my least favorite songs I've made have gotten the most views and plays, and I've made the most money off, and people have shown me the most love, and it's like, it's all subjective. So all I can do is intend that, like, hey, I'm going to show up and try to connect and try to make my art. And I'm going to put it out there. And if I do that, I feel good about myself. I stop judging myself on how good it turns out or not. I'm not going to be all mad at myself if I try to record an episode and it wasn't the best, and, I've done better before. It's okay. Someone might really need to hear this. There might be something I said today that someone just really resonates with, and it helps and changes their life forever. So all I can do is just show up and do my best, and every day is going to be different. But today I set the intention that I'm going to record a podcast, and then I'm going to feel good about myself because my daughter's coming back. I don't have her on the weekends, so she comes back to me on Monday nights usually, which actually is probably about to switch up since she's starting school. We're about to change our schedule up, but I feel better. I feel like I can be a better dad and more present if I've gotten like the podcast recorded, and I've gotten my coaching calls out of the way, and I've gotten like certain things done before she comes back. Then I feel like, cool, I can sit here and play Barbies and mermaids and build forts and watch princess movies and, do whatever and be present and have fun with her without feeling guilty, like I'm letting my people down. Because you guys are supporting me. A lot of you guys are paying money, whether it's to my Patreon or you come to my shows or you buy my merch or you stream my music or whatever you do. Like a lot of you guys are, and more than money, you're investing your time. So I want to show up for you and be there for you. And if I haven't shown up for you, then I'm with my daughter, and I'm not really in either world. I'm sitting there not present with my daughter because I'm feeling like, oh, I need to show up for all these other people. And then like I'm not really showing up for either. So like that's my intention today, was like I'm going to feel good about getting a podcast episode recorded and certain things done. And I usually like get my house clean and my laundry done and like all these things that I like to just get out of the way before my daughter comes back. So then when she's there, I'm like fully with her. And yeah, that was my intention for recording this episode. I just want to feel good about having one done, getting my shit done so I can go enjoy myself on this hike, and then I can have a good time with Olivia when she comes back and not feel like I'm letting people down or like not fulfilling my soul's purpose. Because it's not even about letting people down. It's like letting myself down. I got this mission I'm trying to fulfill, and damn it, I'm gonna fulfill it on all levels. So like I don't like to let myself off the hook. And I've just been living more intentionally over the last couple years. I used to just live life I was so reactive, and I wasn't intentional about anything. Like I just ate whenever, whatever. Like, I didn't even pay attention to what time it was or how many, how much I was eating. Or, oh man, it's just wild how much my life has improved so much since I started setting more intentions. So I can't stress the importance of it enough. When you wake up in the morning, set some intentions. Usually I set my intentions the night before of how I want my morning routine. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to jump out of bed. I'm going to be super refreshed and energized because I'll have slept amazing. Then I'm going to have a super high vibe morning routine. I'm going to have an epic gratitude journaling session. I'm going to do my bioenergetics and my barefoot grounding in the sun first thing, and it's going to just get me on such a high vibe. Then I'm going to go in and crush a workout, and I'm going to have the best cold shower ever. Then I'm going to get into the deepest, most beautiful meditation ever. And when I hop out of that, I'm going to jump into that podcast episode and record that episode and post that up. And then I'm going to, normally my intentions are always set the night before, but even in the morning, I wake up and I set the intention of how I emotionally want to feel. Because if you don't do that, you're just going to keep going back to old programming. The old paradigms, the lower self, society, the man, Babylon, all these things that are programming us and kind of keeping us down and holding us in our lower selves. Like, we're just going to keep going back to that old programming if we don't rewire it and set more intentions. So, seriously, the more intentions you set on how you want to feel emotionally, that's the key. Because some people think, okay, setting intention is just like a to-do list. Like, my intention is to, do my laundry today. And so I do my laundry and boom, I check that off. And yes, that's an intention, but an even better intention would be, today I'm going to do my laundry. I'm going to get my laundry done today. But while I'm doing it, I'm going to be in a state of complete bliss the entire time I do it. Whether that means I need to have a dope podcast to listen to while I'm doing it, or I have one of my favorite artists just dropped a new album and I'm gonna bump that super loud while I'm doing this laundry, or I'm gonna turn it into a meditation and I'm just gonna feel so grateful for all my clothes and just so blessed, and I'm gonna just channel the highest vibrations while I do this. That's the real magic of setting intentions. How do you emotionally want to feel? So set intentions for next hour, you guys, if you listen to the first probably dozen or so episodes of the podcast, you probably heard my alarm going off at 111 and 222 and 333. And one of the intentions that would go off would say what's your intention for the rest of this gorgeous day? And it was an afternoon check-in where I'd be oh shit, okay, I got X amount of hours left before I go to bed. What is my intention? How do I want to live out the rest of this day? And I'll just take time to just touch base and maybe put my hand on my heart for a second and go within and just ask myself, how do I want to show up? If you're about to get on a phone call with someone, visualize the phone call, how you want it to go. Hear their voice, hear it ending pleasant. Feel the emotions that you would like to feel when you get off the call. So for me, I have a coaching call with one of my mentors today at 6 p.m. and I'm so excited for it. And it's only a 15-minute call because my mentor is crazy busy and she lives in Australia, and so it's 10 a.m. for her, and she got back-to-back calls. And I'm just picturing that call go us just vibing and resonating with us so much that it ends up going 20 minutes, and she's I don't want to go. I have to hop on this other call though, but having so much fun talking to you, Burnell, and I can't wait to reconnect, and I'm so happy and excited for you. And I literally pictured myself jumping with glee, just a little excited fucking kid after I get off the call, and just be beaming ear to ear with this huge smile on my face of that was the best call ever. I just love her. I'm so excited. I fucking know exactly where I'm going. And it's when you talk to super high vibrational people, you absorb their energy. Rubs off on you through osmosis, and you just feel their vibration, it comes into your energy field. And so she's a multi-millionaire, super high vibe, doing her soul's mission to the fullest, helping millions of people, doing awesome work in the world. And I just picture myself feeling all her energy and resonating with her frequency more when I get off that call. So that's my intention for the call. And my other intention for the call is to I want her to like learn something or feel good, or I want her to like benefit in some type of a major way and receive like a super magical blessing from my energy. Even if it's on a super subtle subconscious level, I want her day to be brighter and better just because she talked to me. So it's kind of I'm not just here to like take her energy. I want it to be a clean mutual energy exchange. And like I can't tell you how when I do things without intention, it's like it's just up to the world however it's gonna go. When I do things with intention, I swear it like almost always goes how I wanted it to go. A lot of times I set intentions in the morning of all these things that I'd like to get done today, and it's like, and all these emotions I'd like to feel, and by the end of the day I'm just blown away. Like, how, holy shit, like sometimes when I write these lists, I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna get all this stuff done. Like, that'd be cool is my intention. If I could get all this stuff done, it would be like the best day in history. But I'm not holding myself to. I'm not gonna beat myself up if I don't get all these things done, because this is kind of a lot. But I'd like to do this, and this, and that, and get that done, and receive this, and give that, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like wild. Like 99% of the time, I get every single intention crossed off. And I'm just like, whoa. Am I just like Superman or something? How the fuck did I do all this? Like, damn, Burnell, you're killing it. Since I started living more intentionally, and doing, tapping into a flow state and meditating and quieting down my mind and coming from the heart more, like, I get more done in a single day than I used to get done in a month. And that's why I'm more successful than I've ever been. That's why I have more fans than ever, my health is better than ever. I've got more support. Like, all these things are starting to thrive and work out in my life. And I think a big part of that is because I'm so intentional. I don't just go random places for no reason unless it's an inspired action. But like, I don't just like randomly do things. Like, every single thing I do has an intention behind it. I don't just like mindlessly consume food anymore. I don't just mindlessly scroll through Instagram anymore. And like, we're playing ourselves if we think we can just use addictive things like social media without repercussions. You wouldn't think you could just like casually like, oh fuck yeah, I'll just do some heroin from time to time, and I won't get addicted, or I'll just, I'm gonna start smoking cigarettes and I won't be addicted to it. Like, playing yourself. These things are highly addictive. They're designed to be that way so they can make more money. And part of our job as conscious creators is to awaken the grid of intention and awaken the grid of self-love and self-respect and mindfulness. That's why there's such a big mindfulness movement going on, and everyone's getting into being mindful and meditation and all this stuff. And mindfulness and meditation are different. I think I'll talk about that on the meditation episode, but if not, I'll talk about it on a future episode. Mindfulness means you're bringing awareness to everything you're doing, and you're doing it with intention, and you're becoming present, and you're not just going through the motions and the habits and just like living this mundane reality just because society's programmed you to. Like, so every time you get on social media, ask yourself, the second you notice that you're on Instagram, ask yourself, did I come on here with intention, yes or no? If yes, awesome, cool. What was my intention for being on here? If not, close out the app and go within your heart and ask yourself, what's my intention for opening Facebook right now? There's nothing wrong with using these things. I'm all for it. Like, I'm trying to grow a massive following on all these social media platforms so I can use them for good. I believe this technology of the internet and social media and all this stuff is a beautiful part of the essential